You're watching Guude. You're watching Guude. Fighting just to save our lives. Got you laughing every night.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, and I'm still sitting here. We got so much slime now because now this thing is spawning slime like crazy.
Yeah, I killed a few men ago. Actually, I broke them into mini pieces and then walked away, so I left them.
Those are the guys that attacked me.
Yeah, I'm responsible for that.
Oh man. So I am sad to say, since we didn't plan on you being here, we are now hosting a Halloween party this weekend.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. What are you gonna be?
So I don't know yet. I don't have a costume, and therefore possibly nothing. I guess it's like a Halloween party and a cross between like my birthday party as well. That's what the wife wanted to do.
I could technically drive up, but that'll never happen. 'Cause I'm never driving there.
Well,
again.
and then the ironic thing is too, the wife's sister is going to move back in this weekend, at least for the weekend, because her rent is all done. I just found that out like an hour before we recorded.
Okay.
So that was brand new information.
Well, hopefully
anyway.
she
I was
doesn't stay
honestly
long.
thinking to myself, I'm like, good thing I didn't tell Guude to come on up.
Yeah. Well, hopefully she doesn't stay living there selfishly.
Well, I mean, it'd be, we don't mind if she does. I understand for a place to stay. She doesn't want to though. She wants to get her own place, but she's just so, and she doesn't know what she wants to do yet. And I don't think she wants to commit to anything, which rightfully so. She doesn't want to commit to like a year lease with something when she doesn't know if this is the area she wants to be in. She has a job where she doesn't have to be here for. She works every other week. She has to travel for it. And the weeks that she's here, it's not because she has to be here. She just has to be working because it's a remote job. But she doesn't even know if she wants to have this job anymore. Is
this the divorced person? Or is that your sister that's divorced? That's your sister.
No, my sister's the one that's divorced. Yeah. No, her family is not. None of them have been married or have any kids or anything like that.
Okay.
No, my sister's the divorced one, who she's now engaged again with another kid on the way. So,
oh yeah, good.
We're gonna have little nephews like her, because her other kids are like 9, 10, 11, or 10, 11, and 12 now.
Oh, she's 3 already.
She's got 3 of them already, yeah. But they're older, so my son is not gonna be playing with them as children. They're gonna be the more responsible older kids as opposed to children. Now we're gonna have for one, my current son, it's gonna be about a 2-year difference, which is great, and then the new one, they're gonna be just a couple months apart. So that'll be cool if I ever go back to Michigan to see them on a regular basis. That does make it kind of hard.
Yeah. So does your parents still live in Michigan?
They do.
Okay. So she lived there.
And they don't plan on moving anywhere out here. And they actually get upset with me on a regular. My mom does. She gets upset with me because I don't get to see the baby. I don't know. It's weird because I understand it. But I think in their minds, they think that I should be moving back closer to them or should be visiting them more, as if it's like easy.
Right. That's pretty far away. What like the drive from DC to Michigan? How long is that?
9.5 or 10 hours.
Yeah, that's a long fucking drive.
Yeah, well,
especially with
on
the
a
kid.
plane, it's only like an hour or 2 hours, depending on if you have layover stuff.
Yeah.
But it's with still with a baby, and the fact that I live in DC, my life is in DC. You can't just like pick up and go to a different state all the time on a regular basis.
My mom's like 3 hours away, and I still only see her like a few times a year.
Yeah, but does she care about you as much or the daughter?
I mean, well, the way you say that, does she even care about you?
I know my parents love me, sure, but they're not upset that they don't see me as often.
No, yeah, you're right.
They're upset they don't see the baby.
Yeah. Something about becoming a grandparent suddenly. They need to see you a lot more.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because the wife's parents, they come out pretty much every other weekend. Essentially, it seems.
How far away do they live?
Which is not. I'm not saying that as a negative thing. Like I'm saying it's a good thing. It's that they're very helpful when they're here. The son loves them. They're good people. I like them as well. But it makes my mom extremely jealous.
How far do they have to travel?
They travel about 7 hours, but they drive it constantly.
Wow.
They also don't have any other children that have grandchildren, and no other children that live in the state anymore. There's a whole difference in, they sure are still working full time and they go out of their way to do this, but this is the place they want to come because they don't have any other obligations there. My mom helps my sister take care of her kids as well sometimes because, the divorce makes it hard. So she'll go out there every couple of weeks. She'll go spend, a couple days and take care of the boys. She has obligations out in Michigan still with my sister and her kids to help out, not because they're obligations per se, but she wants to help out, wants to be there with the family and all that. And she doesn't have those obligations with us because, the wife's parents kind of help with that side of the world. And my mom gets a little bit jealous of that piece. And it makes it hard for me because I end up getting stuck in the middle.
Right.
And I don't think my mom understands. And my sister, I've told you before, my sister's a little bit more of her way is the right way and that's the only way type of deal. So if she has an opinion, you can never change her mind on that opinion. So my sister, I think, also feeds into that with her. And Jeff should be, coming back more often. Why is he depriving you of, seeing your grandchild?
Shit. At this point, Jack's not going to remember her anyways. So maybe if you travel more, it'd be later.
The time when he's going to start remembering.
Yeah, I guess
anything up until now, not at all. It's
right.
He was too young, and it doesn't mean that they don't still want to be there for for him and all. And I know his grandparents on all sides of the family love him. Just because he sees one side more than the other doesn't mean the other side loves him less. I don't feel my parents are not going out of their way to see the grandchild. I don't feel like that at all. And I know that some people might. I know my wife kind of is like, why don't your parents come out here more? Don't they want to see their grandchild? And I'm like, that's not the way this works. So I don't feel like that, despite other people might, but I don't agree with. But it's one of those. I don't know. I don't remember how to make. I made sticks. I don't remember how to make a shield.
It's a U with the iron,
like a boat with an iron in the middle. Oh no, it's a boat with iron on the bottom.
No, the iron's in the U, and it's got it's not a boat. It's got to be up at the top because you need one plank at the bottom too. Not plank, but plank. Yeah.
Oh, it's like a hopper. That's why I couldn't remember it right. Got it. I got my shield. Woo! Check out my shield.
Apparently, this woman you were talking about, she sold 2.5 grams.
Which woman am I talking about?
the one that was in prison and then escaped. So this is last episode coming back.
Okay, you remembered something?
I did. I just remembered that It's strange since I'd never heard of her before, but strangely enough, I remember she apparently only sold 2.5 grams of heroin and got convicted for 10 to 20 years.
Damn.
I don't know what 2.5 grams of heroin
now
is.
For how long after 30 years of?
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently she was on Oprah, though.
While she was out? Or
I don't... Well, no, yeah, she went on Oprah just to talk about something else.
Be like, I know that I escaped from prison and all, but I'm going to trust my instincts and go on Oprah.
Yeah.
Just join there was actually a weird story, and I don't remember enough details about this one, but it was like a guy, I don't think it wasn't an escapee from prison, but he was a wanted person for like crimes of some type, and he ended up getting caught because people recognized him because he went on like one of his dating game shows back.
Jesus
in, like,
Christ!
70s.
Yeah, that's some ballsy shit,
dude.
Found him.
Oops. Yeah, I went all the way up to the top to also get another pick and completely forgot to do so. Yeah, that's a gamble, man. Like let's say
How fucking
Dude,
desperate are you
you
and
got the
lonely
call.
that you're going on? You're willing to go back to prison for a date?
Well, let's do this a different way. Let's say you robbed a like convenience store. You did something stupid. Like not even say robbed. Like you did something stupid where you ended up being wanted in a state, and you knew you're wanted in a state, but you flew home. Like we're at a convention or something. You did something dumb. They were looking for you, but you managed to get home, and you're like, just fuck it. I'll just never go to that state again, and we'll like call this quits. Wash my hands of this. What if the next day you got a call from Jeff Probst who said, "We want you on the next season of Survivor"?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah,
but
that's probably
you
one of those.
Knew that it was going to be like that. Your face would be out there enough that you were now going to.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to decline it probably, right? Because you know if you do that,
but
you're gonna.
Would you?
Yeah, I think you would. I mean,
would you?
Yeah, I would. I wouldn't go. Now, if I'm willing to going to prison, I mean, hell, if you win Survivor and you were a convicted felon that was wanted, you probably don't even get to keep the damn money.
They just kind of had your picture.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you got caught after the fact, you probably, even if you had won the game, you probably wouldn't be able to keep the winnings.
That's probably true, but would you take the risk?
No, that's a bad risk.
I'm just saying.
Would you?
It depends on what I did. How long was I looking to be put away for?
I mean, as much as I'd like to play,
I would love to play Survivor, and I would love $1 million. I would love to play Survivor more than I want the $1 million.
I think most people that end up on the show, that's true. Like I'm the same way. I'd rather play Survivor than win Survivor. I mean, I'd like to win Survivor too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
However, the experience of playing is what I really want. So if I'm looking at like a small misdemeanor,
misdemeanor. But they do background checks and all that kind of shit on you too. So I feel like you were not even going to get past that process of getting on the show if you're wanted.
I mean, one would think, but then you find out there's random spies and stuff that have infiltrated our government and gotten top secret security clearance jobs with the CIA. And I don't mean spies who are just trained to do that, but spies who had records on file somewhere.
I feel like
and I actually don't even know if that's true. I've heard of that before.
Are you talking about Donald Trump?
Yes, that spy Donald Trump back in his day. He was.
He could be working with the Russians. He could have been working with the Russians for years.
That's very possible. That's kind of interesting though, because I guess I don't know the answer to this. What if you elected somebody who was in jail? Can you do that? Is there any laws against that?
I mean, sometimes there's qualifications for being able to hold that position.
Is it?
Sometimes I don't know. I mean, it depends on probably what the office is you're being elected to. I guess. I don't know.
I wonder where you could push the envelope with president. Like, what's the thing that
if they're in jail? I feel like you can't elect a person in jail to president at least.
That's your mind tells you that, your memory.
Well, no, this is my opinion. I mean, I think someone that's like I don't think having a criminal record prevents you. Like I think you can be a convicted felon, but you can't. I don't think you can be in prison.
Like during your presidency, or to get elected to the presidency?
Probably both. I don't think you could run a successful campaign from prison, for one thing.
I mean, I know the inquiry in my mind is, can't they just pardon themselves if they did make it?
Well, you can only pardon yourself from federal things, for one thing.
Right. I was going to say, isn't that kind of the situation that's going on now with Trump, and people are questioning whether he'd be able to pardon himself if things came up in certain ways?
Well, like if he committed some crime in New York, he couldn't pardon his state crimes, for example. Only the federal crimes. People in my mind, the voices in my mind are saying that someone can run from prison. I still feel that I don't want to believe those voices in my head.
I've never seen anything that states that you can't, but I've never researched it. So
Well, yeah, I don't think it's something that really
I
comes
really have
up.
no idea.
I don't think it really comes up, but I mean, hell, the rate things are going, we're gonna elect a fucking digital Twitter user to president before you know it.
A digital Twitter user?
I mean, someone that's not even real. Fucking AI is gonna win the presidency, and then we're gonna realize he's not even real.
God, it'd probably be so much better than some of the presidents that we've
I don't
had
know.
in
You
our-
remember Tay, the Microsoft bot?
Tay?
You don't remember Tay?
No, I remember Sam.
I think it was
Or
Tay.
Clippy.
I think it was Tay. What was last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago, Microsoft released a Twitter bot that was AI that was to showcase machine learning. It was going to take what it could find on the internet and interact with people that DM or chat with it. And maybe it was also through Skype that you could chat with it. There was multiple places you could chat with this bot, and it would tweet. It would tweet things based on what it had learned.
Twitted.
Within 24 hours, it was tweeting things
it was
like
racist.
yes, very, very racist.
Do remember? I didn't know it was called Tay.
I think that was her name. I'm pretty sure
Yeah, I
it was
do
Tay.
remember that one that became the bot that became racist immediately.
Yeah. Which I guess isn't that far off from our current president, so maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe it's okay. I remember Clippy.
Clippy was the closest to AI we had back then. Clippy was like, "I see you're trying to save a document. We moved the save button to somewhere you'd never find it. Ask me how to find it."
They should bring Clippy back.
They definitely should. I mean, Clippy was amazing in every way. They could probably make Clippy actually better nowadays with like machine learning and stuff. Clippy could probably be useful. Oh, stupid spider! No, you're hurting. The spider is like going to town on me. Jesus, down to 3 hearts.
God, if you died in there, that'd be awful. That would be an awful place
All my
to die.
stuff would just be like in chests somewhere. I guess the best part about it is that you wouldn't.
You definitely wouldn't lose anything. Yeah.
It would just be somewhere.
You do not want to die.
Where that somewhere is, heaven only knows. Yeah, Clippy has a new name. It's Cortana. That is very, very, very true, and that just came to me.
Oh yeah,
like a revelation.
like a revelation.
Cortana. You have an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I do have
Android
a.
has-
I mean, Cortana's on all our desktops now too, though.
Yeah, Cortana's on the desktop, but we have now the new Androids all have Bixby,
Who?
which I think is supposed to take on Siri or whatever it is. But it's terrible. Like they gave Bixby a dedicated button to launch Bixby with on my phone, and it's right below the volume down key. So all I do is hit it on accident. I never want to hit the stupid Bixby button because I don't care. I can say "Okay, Google" and ask my phone anything, and it just actually is waking up saying yes, go on. But then there's Bixby as well. It doesn't make any sense. Like Android has the OK Google platform, and then it has, or the Google Assistant, whatever they call it, and then it has Bixby on the side. But I don't know what it does that's supposed to be special. It's just freaking annoying.
When did this happen? I've never heard of Bixby. Who the fuck picked that name?
I got this phone and it's got Bixby. And one of the reviews I read of this phone said the most infuriating thing about this phone is that you will constantly accidentally hit the Bixby button. And I was like, what the fuck's a Bixby button?
I don't know what that is. I guess I'll buy the phone.
But now I understand what it is. So,
which phone do you have?
it's the Galaxy Note 9.
Yeah, apparently
So the
this
new
Bixby is a
Note.
Samsung thing, not an Android thing.
Oh,
So Samsung's to blame
I'm
for
sorry.
Bixby.
So Samsungs that are all Android phones. Have
Well,
decided
yeah,
to
but there's
take
other
on-
Android phones that don't have Bixby, I guess is the thought here. Like Google's
Yeah,
Pixel
but what would be the
doesn't.
point? Why would Samsung be trying to take on like Google Assistant?
I mean,
It just
who the
doesn't
fuck
seem
knows
like-
what their long-term plans are, right?
Yeah, I mean, my phone is a Samsung phone, so I just fell.
I mean,
So
maybe
that
they
does
want it
that.
on other Samsung devices too, like like your Samsung TVs and shit. Got fucking Bixby here.
Oh, that's true. Oh god, that'll be really freaking annoying when that happens. I will tell you, I have Android Auto in my car, and man, having the Google Assistant, being able to do all the shit that I can do at home with my Google Home is amazing. I can pull in and tell it to like unlock the doors or whatever I can do.
That's cool. I think I adopted home automation too early, and it's a lot way cooler now.
What do you have that's home automated that you think is too
Well, I don't have a lot of stuff. I
I
mean, but
guess.
mostly just cameras and that sort of thing. But then I have I have competing systems too, kind of. But
Okay.
I have like the I think I've told you about some of this stuff before. Like if I spring a leak in my water heater or whatever, I'll get an alert on my phone if there's ever water damage in that where I have the little.
But that's I have a water sensor that we keep in the basement, and granted, I think it's too far away from the hub because it constantly loses connection. But
And I have like the things on all the doors and windows that like text me if a door or window's opened or
yeah,
whatever.
that doesn't seem too far ahead because that's
But
the
well,
same
the
stuff
thing is,
I
the system.
relatively recently just installed.
Well, the system they're part of isn't getting new things anymore, basically.
Oh.
And some of it I had to ghettoify with like my own like creation, like my own little server and stuff. So I don't know. It's
So you were doing if this then that before if this then that was a thing.
kind of, yeah. Which I never used that site before.
Well, it's not really a site per se. It's a concept of.
Well, there's one site that does this, like
Well, I guess there is a major site that most of the things are hooked up to. But
I mean, I only got into all this shit because I got doxxed. I had people showing up at my fucking house, and
so
I was
you're
worried.
like, fuck this.
Yeah, I wanted constant recording of every angle of my house. My daughter hates it. She's like, I don't like this camera in my room. I'm like, well,
Yeah, inside too.
yeah, I have cameras in every room.
My parents have that as well inside, and I'm all about like, I don't know. I'm okay with some inside cameras, but sometimes when I'm at their house, I'm like, I don't like just staring at this camera as I'm sitting there watching TV.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're. I mean, but like whenever I would go away to conventions and stuff too, I would like check in and see what was going on here. I don't know. I liked it. I don't know. I could see the pros and cons. I do know that she ain't never sneaking out in the middle of the night to go see her boyfriend.
You know how we used to do the tricks with, put the pillows under the mattress, put the card behind the door, so when you sneak back in the window, somebody came in to check on you if it was like knocked over and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They're gonna just learn different methods of doing that stuff. You realize it's gonna be like
Well, she's got to be real fucking good at it.
holograms that are projected into the bed. So when you look at the camera, it looks like they're sleeping. And
Right. I mean, just opening the window is going to trigger the alarm, so you have to make sure you can like get around that. I'm sure there'll be a way, but I mean, I'm not going to make it easy for
or you just make her learn to do it like appropriately so that she can be a hacker in the future.
her.
Oops, I broke some glass.
It's funny in high school, like because I bought the trailer I lived in when I was 16, and Crystal was allowed to come over and stay at my house during the day. But if the sun was down, she had to go home. And I was always like, they know there ain't no parents here. It don't need to be nighttime for us to fuck. Like, what's the logic here?
Children in high school don't have sex during the day.
It was always weird. Of course, then we had sex way too much one time.
The penis gets hard.
Yeah. She had to ask her mom, like, is it supposed to burn like this? So they definitely knew that we were active at that point.
It's supposed to burn like this.
Yeah, we had like sex like 9 times in one day.
That's called gonorrhea. Oh, that's terrible.
Hopefully my daughter never watches these videos. That just dawned on me as I was
You know that she's going to one day. Look at the legacy of dad. It's going to be really funny. Your grandparents, people always talk about, my grandpa used to tell me stories of what happened in the war. And, everybody takes their word for like gospel. Though most of it's probably all completely like fabricated or at least, elaborated in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
And in our future, it's going to be, I watched my dad's video talk about getting gonorrhea.
At least I've never had an STD, and I'm glad for that.
It just burned a lot. They just never diagnosed it, but which is funny because they don't really diagnose that stuff much anymore.
What do you mean?
It's like the emergency department. If you came in as a male, even a female, a lot of times with the symptoms of standard gonorrhea, chlamydia, the burning when you pee type of deal, having unprotected sex or whatever, we didn't test you for it. They gave you antibiotics because the symptoms all fit, and it was much cheaper. Why bother going through the test when whether it's gonorrhea or whether it's a UTI or whatever it is, the treatment's the same. So there's no point in that they would just say, you most likely have an STD, you should be safe, and here's some antibiotics, like type of deal.
Shit, I'd want to know for sure.
Well, why? Most people don't actually.
Well, for me, it would be to know if I suddenly got gonorrhea and I'm only sleeping with one person. Like, I want to know if it's urinary tract infection or gonorrhea, because if I suddenly got gonorrhea,
a lot of the clientele that we got were not only person. It's not like.
Okay, well, in my case, if I'm sleeping with one person,
constantly at the emergency department,
right? Well, I guess we're out of time again.
Well,
have you been digging this whole time?
I've been digging this whole time. Yes, I'm trying to clean up some.
All right.
If you're getting lag, I'm cleaning.
No, I'm not. I was just wondering because I've just been placing walls this whole time. So
no, I've been digging just slowly.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to get all the walls done to the point that we're at so that I can start planting and actually harvesting what we have to get more seeds. So anyways, thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks, guys. See ya.